and we're not.
She's more than just a looker. She's
What-
a want-to-toucher. let's be honest
Hey,
here.
all right, Mom. Really hope you heard that one. And yeah, we're really happy to have you guys this morning. Excited for our second episode of A to Z in the morning here. We have a new guest. We have Zach over there in the producer's chair, or what was the producer's chair?
Now
Zach.
it's just Zach.
Now it's just Zach. You want to say hello, man?
What's going on? Zach Clark.
So we're going to open it up real quick and just dive right in. Obviously, a big game here in Death Valley last night. Clemson, Boston College. Anderson, let me get your thoughts real quick on what transpired in the Valley.
I thought it was pretty good. Boston College coming in with one of the best defenses. Some say number one. I mean, obviously it's Boston College and they play nobody every year, so we can't really make that distinction. But I thought we did pretty well. It kind of scared me in the first quarter there. When Boston College came out, stopped us right away, and ended up scoring first, drawing first blood. But other than that, I thought we held our own. I thought we did very, very well. My max points I was going to give Boston College was 14, and of course 17. That was all right. I said that Clemson was going to get around 21 to 28, and they ended up getting 34. So I mean they went above and beyond what I thought they were going to do. But I think the story of it, take out the two interceptions by Deshaun Watson, he had a really good game. 27 for 41, 420 yards, averaging 10.2 passes per game. I thought that was a very good turnaround kind of game for Deshaun, considering the fact that he hasn't been over 300 yards, I don't think, yet.
This is his second career 400 game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he makes some good points there. I think this game was more of a tale of two halves to me.
Yeah.
I thought Deshaun just didn't have a handle for
no.
what he was doing in the first half. I mean,
That second half was
maybe, what are we talking, 5, 6 overthrows to receivers down? People that had a step. I mean, they weren't going to be caught if they're catching that ball, but he's overthrowing them by 4 or 5 yards. Overthrowing guys like Artavis Scott, who has some wheels last time I checked. So he just didn't have a touch for that long ball in the beginning of the game, and those numbers that he ended up putting up, 27, 41, 420, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions like you talked about.
Yeah.
Maybe a little deceptive to some people.
Well, I mean, also that one that one interception
Oh, he
would
got
not have
smacked.
been.
Yeah, he
that
got
was a sack. I mean, he was. I don't know. I mean, you really can't tell him to tuck that thing because he didn't see it coming. That was blindside all day.
Oh, I understand that. But
And
then
he got rocked.
You talk about the first interception, and he didn't have a feel for it. Like I was just talking about, he's throwing the ball and he's trying to bring it back, reel it in a little bit, and he underthrows him by 10 yards and gets picked.
I mean, you can call it a little bit of a sophomore slump, with the interception wise, but yardage wise, he's not doing that bad. I mean, he's doing it on the ground a little bit too, even with his with his knee knee prop coming in the season. So I mean, he's really doing it all. It's just those he just makes too many mistakes that could be avoided, I think. But other than that, I think he's doing pretty well. Zach, let's get your take on this.
Started off kind of slow in the first half. Boston College stayed around in the game. I thought it was going to be a very defensive game. Boston College offense really isn't too good. And it kind of showed throughout the game. Passing, it was their quarterback was 7 of 22, 87 yards and a touchdown. Not too great of a game. But like Zach was saying, Deshaun struggled on the deep ball. He missed Sharon Peak easily. Sharon could have caught that. But that first possession, and he overthrew Artavis Scott a few times in the first half. But he got things going in the second half and really stepped it up. But we have to find a running game. Wayne Gallman struggled. They held him to just 48 yards on 17 carries, and Watson just had 32 yards and a touchdown. So we're definitely going to have to pick up the running game.
Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I thought we were going to get used to it coming in after Wayne Gallman had those open season with the 4 straight just unbelievable games.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, if you're going to interrupt.
I was simply agreeing with you. I was just saying sure. That was it.
Oh, I thought he was trying to interrupt me. But Zach, I mean, other Zach, not you, Zach, because
Sure.
I don't like to agree with
No,
you.
I
But I agree
understand.
100% with you, Zach. I mean, we need to find a running game back. It's either a good passing day or a good running day with Clemson football right now. We haven't really put together a quality. And I say quality, you could say, oh, well, Notre Dame was kind of no. Notre Dame really wasn't that good in the air, but. We need to find a good one where Gallman goes off for 100 yards, Deshaun 50 yards rushing, and then Deshaun goes off for 300, 350 yards in the air. We need to put it together here when we start playing these better teams. But other than that, not much to be said for Boston College and Clemson Tigers. I think this is the score that should have been the score. I'm glad that this is another game. This is our 34th straight win against an unranked team. Clemsoning does not exist, in my opinion. I mean, I just think if we lose, and when we have lost in the past, it's been to good teams. Like, you can't say that it's Clemsoning when you're losing to good teams. I think that's just utterly ridiculous.
I think we need to maybe just take a step back real quick, and I think you're being a little harsh on asking, where's our running game? We need a running game. Need to find that. As you mentioned, he ran off 400-yard games in a row at the beginning of the season there, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying we need to find a running game for this game.
I get that, but obviously this team we knew was going to be good on defense coming in. Boston College, whether we agree with it or not, was 1 overall in the country.
Oh, sure.
For defense.
Oh, sure.
See. So they came into this game, and their whole game plan, looking back on it now, sell out, stop the run, make Deshaun Watson beat you. I mean, he did.
I said Deshaun Watson beat you.
Yeah, I mean, that was it's a pick your poison kind of scenario for them.
Yeah.
But I'm not really concerned about the running game. I think Wayne Gallman's going to be fine. I think he's going to get his touches the rest of the year. He'll be fine. But I don't know if we need to be super critical of what happened yesterday in terms of the running game.
Hey, it starts with one game. A bad day starts. A bad season can start with one game. And Zach and I are just trying to point the fact out that it can happen.
And
we don't want this streak of 17
respect.
carries, 48 yards, 2.8 average. It'd be one thing if he had like 10 carries with like 50 yards.
Sure.
But he had a decent number of carries. I mean, okay, so wrapping up the kind of negatives here for this game. Zach, give me one key thing that you want to see Clemson working on, other than the rushing. One key thing that you want to see Clemson work on for their next week against Miami.
Definitely communication in the secondary. A few mistakes could have been fixed, especially like against Georgia Tech. Few blown plays too that went for touchdowns. But like looking at the right side of the defense in the secondary, it didn't look too strong. The side opposite of Mackenzie Alexander, 25, I forget his name.
Tankersley.
But they tried him a lot in the game. They went his way. So definitely try to fix that side of the field.
Zach?
In terms of fixing it for next week?
Just one thing.
Deshaun's interceptions. That's pretty much what you have to work on. Make better decisions with the ball. Make sure you're making your progressions in the correct way and not staring down Artavis Scott as he runs down the field, that kind of thing.
I mean, I don't think that's such a bad idea considering the fact that Artavis Scott had 162 yards.
I hear you, but when you're going to stare him
receptions.
down and that safety can come over from the opposite hash mark and make that interception, don't stare him down. Just don't do it.
I mean, if it's yielding 162 yards again.
Hey, man, if we're going to talk about Deshaun being a perennial Heisman candidate now, don't stare your receivers down and make a better play.
Yeah, that's something he's been struggling with the entire season, just staring down his receivers, not really going through his progressions, his second read, third read, just really looking down one receiver, and that's where he's having troubles.
I mean, well, you look at Deshaun, though. He's had to kind of change his whole entire game style completely after that injury last year. I mean, you can kind of see it now. He wants to run. I mean, he's really not allowed to, if you think about it. I mean, I'm sure that the last thing that even let's say this when we're watching the game and we see Clemson, when we see Deshaun go off rolling out and start going, how do you cringe when he gets hit? No matter what. Do you cringe a little
every
bit?
time.
Yes, exactly.
But
and I'm sure the coaches do, and I'm sure no matter what kind of run Deshaun pulls off, they cringe and they don't like that. And I mean that's really affected Deshaun, I think. Because, all his life he's been able to scramble and he's been able to do what Deshaun wants to do, and now it's kind of limited.
I couldn't disagree more with what you're saying right now because this first couple of games, I'll agree with you. He was a little bit limited. He wanted to stay in the pocket, be that pocket passer that he's not naturally. But yesterday we saw, for example, his touchdown run. He runs to the left, nothing's there. He runs all the way back around the field, just trots into the end zone. He had 11 carries yesterday.
Yeah.
That's 6 less than your starting running back.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to run the ball anymore. I think his knee's going to be fine. He's got the brace on it for preventative measures. He knows how to take care of his body. You see him sliding more. You see him being able to take less of a hit. Sometimes he gets walloped, and that's where I think it comes in, where we all go, is he going to get up? and then we see him get up. But I don't think he's going to be holding his game back.
Once again, I'm going to kind of refute that. Yeah, he had 11 carries. Yeah, 6 less than your starting running back. But think about it. Wayne Gallman usually gets about 25, okay? And Deshaun, you do this. You give Deshaun 11 carries last year, and I bet you he goes off for at least 80 yards. At least 70, 80 yards a game.
Okay.
He's going off averaging 2.9 now, and that's with an 11-yard touchdown run.
I think
so that means that's less than 2.
I think that you're maybe creating an unfair bias towards last year's Deshaun. Just based on the fact
last year's Deshaun was kind of good.
I know. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm disagreeing with the fact that he wasn't able to access the entire playbook last year. They didn't trust him to throw the ball down the field the entire game like they do now. So they're opening it up for him to pass more often now. They're opening up for him to sit in that pocket, pick out his receivers, and make a play.
But that's not how Deshaun plays. I mean, Zach, come on.
That is how he's going to play.
Who do you agree with here? Who do you agree with?
I definitely. I think they didn't trust him, like you're saying, Zach, last year to
Stick with your names.
know the playbook, and I think they did open it up this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Putting the ball in his hands.
Do you think that it's still kind of worrisome that Deshaun's still adjusting to the new play style, like I think, or do you think that, like Zach, do you think that he is already adjusted?
Well, I think it's like a mental thing more than anything. Just the fear of getting hurt. I saw yesterday he ran out of bounds a few times, not really wanting to go to any contact, playing smarter, it seemed like. Not really fighting for extra yards, but just trying to play smart.
Yeah.
He's made the mental adjustment. That's the argument he's making right now. So he's adjusted to the system he's in. He's adjusted to the playbook, to this year's offense, this year's team.
I think he's adjusting.
And what it comes down to, Anderson, is that you just don't have a firm grasp on this year's team, is what it comes down to.
That's what it comes down to?
That's what it comes down to.
I don't have a firm grasp at all.
I don't think you do.
No, you think I don't watch any game?
No, you're in that ticket office too often, and you get all the calls from these people, and they just fluster you, and I don't think you get your mind right going into game time.
So then, how do you explain Deshaun's down year? If he's adjusted so well, why isn't he putting up the numbers that he did last year?
Because it's a different team.
I don't think you have a grasp on this team.
It's a different team, my man.
It's a different team. We're 6-0 right now.
It's a different team.
It's better than last year. How is Deshaun not putting better up numbers?
We're a better team than last year.
I don't think we were numbers 5 last year.
We
at
weren't.
all.
No, absolutely not.
So clearly, I mean, the AP poll thinks that we're a better team than last year.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to compare that in terms of numbers and the ranking right now. It doesn't matter at the moment. Until we get the first college football ranking, until we get the playoff ranking, doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter at all.
This
is an offense without their best wide receiver by far.
And this is an offense without really our best quarterback right now, because this isn't the Deshaun Watson that everybody expected.
The Deshaun Watson everybody expected doesn't exist.
Yes.
He is a figment of your imagination. He was a young kid running around the field, making exciting plays. Superman diving into the end zone where he could have gotten killed. But if you remember that play last year.
Yeah, NC State.
So you would like him to do that again? You want to see that again? Kid that tore his ACL on a non-contact injury in Georgia Tech. He didn't get touched. He planted and tore it.
Yeah.
You want him to run around and get hit like that?
Did he get hurt on that touchdown?
No, he didn't.
Oh, no, he didn't.
But he could have.
But he didn't.
But he could have.
But he didn't.
I'm just saying, man. You got to be smart about that. You got to understand.
Yes, you
this
gotta
guy
be
is
smart
the
about
future
that.
of your program for the next 2 years.
And not only that, but he's hopefully the future of the NFL.
I agree
NFL
with
team.
you. But if
But
your
I'm
dad
saying
was
right now,
swinging,
he's still adjusting. He is still adjusting.
Of course he is, but he's adjusting
You
into
just
a
said-
better role.
You just said that No. You didn't say that before. I'll agree with that. He's adjusting to a better role. But I'm saying that he's still adjusting. He still needs to learn how to fit in this offense, and I don't think he's there yet. You said that he is.
Anderson, you're making two different arguments right now. You're telling me he needs to adjust, and you're telling me he needs to go back to what he was.
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's adjusting. I'm saying it would have been nice to see him be what he was last year.
Okay.
You know, that Deshaun. That was a fun Deshaun to watch. Now, this Deshaun is still kind of fun to watch.
I don't even know if that Deshaun was that much fun to watch, or it was
six
because
touchdowns against Notre
let me make my argument,
North Carolina,
or it was because
fun.
Cole Stout was impossible to watch. That's
Cole Stout
what I
was
think
pretty
it might have been.
Cole Stout was pretty bad.
I mean, he was just awful.
Yeah.
And we talked about that Georgia Tech game where he hurts his knee and Cole Stout comes in and immediately throws a pick six.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the drop-off was just incredible.
Deshaun stays in that game, we win that game.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, who knows where we go from there, to be honest. Who knows? Deshaun stays, like, if Deshaun starts the Florida State game, I think we win that game.
Oh, he came down and put him right down the field. I hear you. I was there. It was awful.
You were at Florida State?
Yeah, I went down there. Got my absolute heart ripped. We sat in front of C.J. Davidson's father.
Oh, really?
And so he fumbles that ball down there on like the goal line.
No.
And Caleb and I just rip into him. Just, this guy's a bum. He doesn't need to be on the field, yada, yada, yada. And the guy's like, yeah, my boy down there. That's my son. And I was like, oh. It was bad. It was real bad. But don't fumble the ball.
Oh, no.
Don't fumble the ball.
Hey, that's true. Don't fumble. You're a college running back, I guess. I mean, you're not allowed to make mistakes.
Division I school.
You're not allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I'm joking, obviously.
You're not.
Well, let's move on to Miami. Let's move on to next week. What's your take here on next week in general? I know I asked you about your
fix.
Your fix, but what do you want? What are you expecting from next week against Miami?
I expect Miami to come out and try to get a win again. They played Florida State close, but they lost 29-24. Brad Kai, he's been playing pretty good the past 2 weeks. They got the win over Virginia Tech yesterday, 30-20. So they're definitely on the road right now, they're going to be back at home. So they're definitely going to try to come out and try to get the upset. But I think Clemson pulls it out on the road.
What's your prediction to score?
I give it 34-28.
Oh, okay. So closer game.
Yeah,
all
close
right.
game.
You have to keep in mind, it is in Miami.
Yeah.
So 10 people are going to show up to see him play.
Hey, this is our first away game since Louisville, and Louisville wasn't that hot. And I think Miami's a better team than Louisville.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but I don't buy into the fact that they have a home field advantage. I don't buy it at all. We see Sun Life Stadium consistently empty.
Well, okay. Now, home field advantage, obviously Death Valley is huge on that. But just going on the road, knowing you're on the road, it's just something. Like obviously, if there's more fans in the stands, then yes, it's a little harder. But still, going on the road, go back to my high school playing days. Just going on the road.
Let's throw it back, boys.
Let's throw it back. Just going on the road to another team. And Zach, back in your playing days, just you have to admit, going to another team, regardless of how many fans are going to be in the stands, it was different, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, let me talk about that. If you're going to Miami, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be 40 degrees overnight down here in Clemson all week. It's going to be a little cold.
Oh, sure.
And you're going to go to Miami where it's 80 degrees and sunny. You're going to sit on the beach for a day or two.
They won't be practicing in the warm, though.
They'll be out there. They'll be on the beach at some point. They'll have a great time. And that's different.
I doubt that.
That's different.
I'm gonna say no. They're not.
You don't think they're going to go on the beach one day when they're down there?
No, considering the fact that they'll get down there Friday.
They'll be fine on the beach. Let me finish.
Okay, yeah.
It's different. It's different than going to Syracuse later in the season, in the middle of winter, where you don't want to be there. It's Miami. Who doesn't want to go to Miami? Who doesn't want to go to Miami?
Okay, but are they gonna be just like? Is it like a relaxation trip that they're going to Miami for?
Pretty much. I'm not losing any sleep over this Miami Hurricanes team. They play for their coach's job every week. It's a horrendous situation in terms of stability in the program. This isn't your father's Miami Hurricanes, not by a long shot.
That's true.
I don't buy the Hurricanes as a legitimate threat. I think if we're truly done with what Dabo hates to talk about, if we're truly done with that term, as a Clemson fan, you shouldn't even blink an eye at this game. You should focus on it, be aware that it's happening, but you shouldn't be upset. You shouldn't be concerned about what's going to happen down in Coral Gables.
I should not be concerned, and I'm not concerned. I think we'll win. Zach, what'd you say, 34-28?
Yeah.
34-28. I think it's going to be. I'll do you one better. I think it's going to be 42-14, 42-17.
Oh, they're going to.
I think we're going to pummel the crap out of Miami. But still, something's to be said that they do average 443.8 yards per game. They average 307.5 yards in the air. Sure. Which kind of does scare me with some of our secondary lapses at times here. But other than that, they allow 379.3 total yards. That's yards allowed. I think Goldman's going to have a huge game.
So you're confident in the Clemson rushing attack again?
Yes, I said I'd like to have a consistent. I never said I wasn't not confident in the rushing. I said I want a consistent, good rushing game and a good passing game.
You can't have both.
You can't have both. You cannot have both.
Not every game. Not when a team sells out to stop one of them.
Good teams will find ways to have both.
No.
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 Is Florida State a good team right now?
I don't think so. I don't think they're
I mean,
11. I'm glad
They're not bad.
They're not bad. No.
And they have maybe the second best running back in the game right now, Dalvin Cook.
No, not even. No, I would not put him in second.
Who's in front of him?
Leonard Fournette.
He's first, yes.
Yeah. This little guy named Ezekiel Elliott.
Who?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Who?
The guy who throws off 200 rushing yard games. Like
I don't.
His job. Well,
I don't
it's
know who
his
that
job.
is. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. All right. That's right. I'm gonna get some stats on him real quick. So when we,
I
when
know.
we talked about college football, in general, I can just wipe the floor with you.
Folks, if you were here the last time we did the show, which was 2 weeks ago because we had fall break last week, if you were here, we talked about Anderson's diehard fanhood towards the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I'm not a diehard fan.
And obviously he's going to tell me all about how great Ezekiel Elliott is.
I appreciate athleticism. I appreciate skill, and I give credit where credit is due. And Ezekiel Elliott never gets credit, but deserves 100% of the national spotlight.
I'm not saying he's a bad running back.
He's not a bad running back.
I'm just telling you Dalvin Cook is better,
He's a
though.
fantastic.
Dalvin Cook is second in the country in rushing right now in terms of yard per game
Okay.
on a bad hamstring,
Okay.
which is impossible to do if you got to sprint around the
And
field.
Ezekiel Elliott is still awesome, and he doesn't get half the carries that he
Ezekiel
should.
Elliott is on a team that is the number one in the country right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook is doing this by himself. I don't want to talk good about Florida State right now, and you're making me do this. I'm a little upset about it because I hate Florida State. I can't stand them. But Dalvin Cook is doing this by himself. Everett Golson's down there, yes, but he doesn't have a firm grasp of the Florida State offense yet. I don't think he does.
I don't agree. I mean, I don't.
You don't agree he does?
No, I didn't mean to say I don't agree. I said I agree, and then I meant to say I don't think he
See,
does.
I think that's a good thing for the viewers to pick up on right there. This is just Anderson hearing me talk and automatically in his head knowing whether he agrees or not, he's going to disagree with me.
I try hard not to listen to you.
I see that. It's bad.
Yeah, well,
It doesn't create for a good sports environment.
no.
You
Well,
know?
you don't create for a good sports
Is that?
environment.
Hey, appreciate that.
Zach, what do you think? Who's your top two running backs? I mean, obviously Leonard, but who do you think is better, Ezekiel or Dalvin Cook?
Well, both of them are good running backs, but I'm probably going to have to go with Dalvin Cook.
Attaboy.
Basically what he's doing this season for Florida State, he's really carrying the team, putting the team on his back. Like you said, Everett Golson really doesn't have a grasp of the offense right now. He's been struggling all season. I think when he figures it out, they're going to be a pretty good team.
All right. So, what stats are you looking at that just doesn't impress you? Yards per game, is that it?
All right, Anderson.
Just the rushing leaders in the country. Leonard Fournette first, of course, 1,202
Who's
yards,
second?
14 touchdowns. Royce Freeman from Oregon, 997 yards, 9 touchdowns. And then it's Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, wait. Who? I didn't hear you. Your volume was turned down. Can you say that just a little bit louder?
Ezekiel Elliott was third in the country for rushing yards, 988, and Dalvin Cook had 955.
55, yeah.
But Elliott has
30
148
yards.
carries, while Cook just has 110. So he has 38 more carries than Dalvin Cook.
That's a great stat.
I could be blind by blind by this computer screen because it's kind of bright. How many touchdowns does Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott have?
Ezekiel Elliott has 11, and Dalvin Cook has 10.
So wait, I could be bad at math, but is 11 greater than 10?
Yes. And 38 more carries as well, though.
Let's talk about that 38 more carries.
Yeah, let's talk about
The
that.
guy needs 38 more to get 30 yards more. Dalvin Cook is an explosive player. Ezekiel Elliott is not.
Okay.
How's that grab you?
I don't
believe what I just said either, but how's that grab you?
I don't agree with you at all. I don't know. The only stats that say that Dalvin Cook is better is average.
Average, yeah.
That is it.
But I think if you're going to look at the rest of the total yards, he's got 30 more yards on 38 more carries. Is that not a stat? We're going to talk stats, hard numbers. You're a numbers guy.
I'm a numbers guy.
Let's talk about them.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. Over time, hopefully, Dalvin Cook gets a little more.
I mean, Ohio State's schedule lines up for him to have like 1 million more yards because they play nobody. They have Michigan at the end of the season. That's it. Is that not correct?
Yeah, no, that is 100% correct.
Their schedule is just it's a cupcake schedule. It really is.
That's a Big Ten schedule.
Yeah,
I mean,
the whole.
I'm sure
conference.
if Ohio State had their way, they wouldn't do that because they're tired of.
I don't want to hear about
They're
that.
sick and tired of people saying that.
You know, I really appreciate you coming to your school's defense and letting them know you're behind them 100%.
week in and week out. Just another example of this. I do the show. I do another sports show Wednesday.
Sure.
The Extra Point.
Sure.
It's on at 8:00 or 8:30.
Shameless plug.
On
Shameless
Wednesdays.
plug.
On Wednesdays, every single Wednesday. Me and
Wednesday.
Zach over here.
Wednesday.
We're panelists over here, along with Willie Webb and Matthew Peterson, and along with hosted by Horace Priester, produced by Taylor, the fabulous Taylor Wilson.
All right, what are you trying to say right now?
What am I trying to say? So I'm getting ready for that show this Wednesday, and I'm looking over the script. I'm looking over some of the other panelists' talking points, and I see possible upsets.
Sure.
And you saw Arizona State and Utah, which obviously didn't happen. You saw Notre Dame and USC, and then you saw Penn State and Ohio State.
No,
and
sir.
they are. Thank God we didn't get to that game, because I had talking points up the arse about that game. I can't believe I don't know who it was, Zach, and it better not have been you. It better not have been you.
Was it you?
Yeah, I put the possible upsets on there.
You had
Boy.
the audacity of somebody to come in here, regardless of who I like and who I don't like,
What are you yelling for right now?
who I favor and don't favor.
They can hear you. The microphone's right there.
The audacity to say Penn State is going to beat the number one team at their place. Penn State lost to that same team last year at Penn State's place. This was in the horseshoe.
Yeah.
This was in the shoe, baby.
I mean, get excited about it.
I was.
Get excited.
That was
about
one heck
it.
of a game.
I hear you. However,
The audacity.
we're gonna keep going. Go ahead.
To pick them.
Yeah.
To even put them down on your talking point as a possible upset. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you now. I didn't know. I was hoping it wasn't going to be you. I was hoping it was going to be Willie.
Well, one thing I was looking at, Christian Hackenberg, he's a pretty good quarterback, just not consistent. I was expecting him to throw for a lot of yards. He was just 7 of 13, 120 yards and a touchdown. So not a great game, but their running back did run for 194 yards against Ohio State's defense.
That vaunted defense up there in Columbus. The number one school in the country.
Yeah? Hey, what was the end up scoring of that game? What was the final score? I can't read.
38 to 10.
38 to 10. That seems like a...
It was 7-0 through the first quarter.
Hey, wait. Oh, my God. It's been
It was
a
7-0.
long night for me last night.
How many quarters do they play?
How many quarters?
How many
did they
quarters
play?
do they play?
Hey, Zach, can you answer me that? How many quarters does it say on the box score that they played? Did they play one?
They played 4?
They played 4.
They played 4
How about
quarters. They played 4 quarters. Look at that.
Okay, let
Look
me
at that.
make my
And,
argument. Let me make my argument.
Yeah, okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Can you just give me like 2 minutes?
Let's go.
You got 2
I'll
minutes?
shut up. Yeah, I got 2 minutes. I'm going to drink my water.
Yes, okay. Let me tell you why Ohio State is not the number one team in the country. You ready? All right, you ready? Here we go. We're going to talk about that game yesterday. A nice, solid team debut for your Ohio State Buckeyes. Hey, I got
Ohio
my 2
State
minutes
Buckeyes.
here. I got my 2 minutes
Sorry,
here.
sorry, go.
Your Ohio State Buckeyes. With Urban Meyer at the helm, just directing traffic like we haven't seen anybody do, maybe ever. I mean, the guy came in and completely turned around the program, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why they're going to lose this year. 1, they clearly can't stop the run. 2, they don't have a quarterback right now. They have the wrong quarterback playing. Cardell Jones is not the answer at quarterback. If they put JT Barrett in there full time, maybe we're having a different discussion. But as of today, what time is it? 10:29 on this Sunday morning. Cardell is still the starter up in Columbus. And as soon as JT came in last night, yes, he is. Yes, he is. As soon as JT came in last night, all he did was lead that team down the field, provided some energy, some spark. Very good player. It was a shame he got hurt last year because it could have been interesting to see what he would do with that team last year.
Potential Heisman last year.
Absolutely.
Potential Heisman.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But that being said, I don't think Urban is going to make that switch. I think he's going to be too stubborn. I think he's going to pull a Dabo on us, if you will. So please go ahead and tell me why Ohio State's the best team in the country and why that you would wear red and black and what is it, silver is their other color?
Yeah.
To a Ohio State Clemson game.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I would not. First of all,
Tell me why.
if Clemson gets into the college playoffs and plays Ohio State first round, you bet your sweet patootie that I'm gonna be wearing.
You've had 2 creative words for butt this morning,
Ours-
and I really appreciate it.
I'm gonna try to
if
go
you
for
can give me the
3.
trifecta, I would really,
I'll slide
enjoy
it in.
that.
Hopefully
Go ahead.
in the NFL segment.
Go ahead.
But why this team is so good is because we have so many weapons
Yeah.
offensively. And I say we as in Ohio State. I'm trying to talk as Ohio State here.
We. Those Columbus.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Those Ohio roots come into play this morning.
Now look.
What do you mean now look?
Now look. Ezekiel Elliott had 153 yards, but he's trash cans. He's not that good.
I'm
153
not saying he's
yards.
not good. I'm not saying that.
He's not in the national spot. He shouldn't be in the national spot. He's not top 2. He's not top 3.
He's not top 2. He's top 3. I'll give you 3.
Yeah,
So you said top 3 for Elliott, right?
I said he's second. I said Elliott's second.
So where do you all have Nick Chubb if he's healthy, or even
shit.
Derrick Henry?
Yeah, what Derrick Henry? Let's talk about him running all over A&M last night. Absolutely
A&M
running
is
them.
not A&M. You know?
A&M is number 9. Was 9 in the country?
Yeah.
9 in the country, and they were at A&M.
Yeah.
12th man. That place was rocking. You don't think that place was rocking 102,000?
Can I go back to Ohio State real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll talk about Ezekiel Elliott being the 5th best in the country.
Talk Ezekiel Elliott. Oh. All right. So many weapons. Ezekiel Elliott goes 153 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
JT Barrett, 102 yards rushing. Bronte Dunn, 3 carries, 31 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Braxton Miller, 4 carries, 30 yards.
He's been fantastic for
He's
us. He really has.
He's
I'm
an
not-
athlete, man.
I'm
He's
not
an
gonna disagree
athlete.
with that.
And then Jalen Marshall, let's just get 15 yards on 1 carry like it's nothing. We average 6.3 yards on the ground.
Like it's nothing.
6.3 yards on the ground. Cardell Jones, 9 for 15, only 84 yards. JT Barrett comes in for 30 yards.
Okay.
So, we do need to find our passing.
Absolutely.
Okay, we do need to find our passing. But we have 429 total yards, 315 yards allowed. Didn't commit a single turnover. Not one turnover. We gave up 195 yards. Okay,
You know what?
that's awesome. That's awful that we gave 195 yards. 120 yards. Ohio State gave up. Them, Ohio State, those guys
Yeah, those guys.
gave up 120 yards passing. That's nothing.
Sure. He threw the ball 14
That's a
times.
cup of sugar right there.
That's
That's
a cup of sugar. You know what, Andy? And so I don't want to hear you talk about this anymore. So you're right.
I am right.
Hey, we're wrong.
Yes, you are.
You are sailing along
5 for
in
11.
your boat of right.
5
as
for
we
11
float in
third
the sea
down.
of wrong.
5 for 11 on third down efficiency. Held Penn State to 0-2 on fourth down. 2 big stops. And 1 for 12 on third down.
Dude, I don't. All right, you know what?
Those stops
talking
don't
about
matter.
Penn State. We're talking about Penn State.
Who's 5-2?
Penn-
Who's
in the
5-1 going into that
In what conference?
the Big Ten? Yes, okay.
Who have they played? They lost
They're
to
5-2.
freaking
They're
Temple.
2-1.
They lost to Temple to start the season. You're getting excited about a Penn State victory? They lost to Temple.
Yeah, they did.
My man, Temple. I'll say Temple. Bill Crosby is their biggest alum. And how's he doing right now? Temple. They are nothing to be excited
And
about.
then they have single-handedly beat every. Okay, so they lost to Temple in the first week.
Who
And
else-
as I'm
who
looking at
else
their
did they play? Who
schedule,
did they play?
27-14 Buffalo. That's Buffalo.
Oh, we got Buffalo.
But they beat them handily.
Oh, they beat Buffalo.
They beat them handily. Rutgers, 28-3.
Rutgers?
28-3.
We're talking about Rutgers right
I don't
now.
give a crap.
We're not talking about Michigan. We're not talking about Michigan State. We're talking about Rutgers.
28-3.
Rutgers who can't keep a
San
coach on
Diego
staff
State,
right now.
San Diego State, 37-21.
San Diego
That's
State,
another.
who
That's,
played San Jose State last
you look at
night.
this. You look at this.
I
Okay.
want to talk about this.
No, let's talk about this.
Let's talk
These
about
two,
this.
these teams I'm naming off are not good. Yes, I'm
Not
not
at
saying
all.
they're good,
Not at all.
but they are beating them handily.
No. They are not. We beat Wofford handily too, right? Beat App State handily. You excited about those
Every
wins?
single team that I just named off that list would be Wofford and App State. Every single team.
I don't agree with that.
Every single team.
Every single one of those.
Every single one of those.
Buffalo. Buffalo?
With the exception of Buffalo.
Temple.
Yeah. Indiana. Solid, decent team for the Big Ten.
I was surprised that Rutgers.
29-7.
Rutgers killed them yesterday, by the way.
Rutgers killed who?
Indiana.
Oh, I thought we were talking. I was like, no.
I know. I was just thinking about
yeah.
it because of the Indiana game. But yeah, that was crazy. But as far as Penn State goes, this is a team that's ravaged by injuries. Or not injuries, the scholarship deficit, right? They don't have the talent pool in that program. They just don't. They came off of the sanctions from the whole
but yet they're still
Sandusky
5-2.
thing. They're still 5-2 against far, far less superior.
But they're not even making it close. That's the thing. Zach, what do you think? Now, I'm going to ask you this question here. Does it have? Yes, they're
Phrase
playing
your
Penn
question
State.
to him in
Okay.
a way that's going to be beneficial to both of us,
Okay.
not to set you up for a victory.
Okay,
I
Penn
think
State.
you're wrong.
Penn State has played nobody. Okay, pretty much nobody. They've had, as Zach would say, they've had a cupcake schedule. They played nobody. But yet they're beating these nobodies by at least 2-3 scores every single game, with the exception of Army. But they still won 2014.
Army.
What do you think it holds merit, like I do, that says, hey, they're playing these bad teams, yes, but they're beating them handily, or do you think it's just like, hey, it's like if Clemson played Wofford and App State, like he thinks, and it should mean nothing? Do you think a team should be based on who they play, strictly who they play, or how bad they beat or lose to those teams that they play? What do you think?
I think you definitely have to look at who they play. You're supposed to blow out teams like that of a lesser caliber without the type of athletes and players that you have on your team. But looks like they play at Northwestern versus Michigan at Michigan State in 3-4 weeks in November.
They got a tough schedule coming up.
Yeah, November. That month of November is really going to test them, see how good they really are.
Okay, so let's agree to disagree. Let's compromise.
No compromise.
Andy, let's
with you.
compromise.
None.
Let me give you an option.
Okay.
All right.
I'll hear you out, but
Let me just give you an option. They should be judged on who they play. Yes, they should. But they should also be judged on how well they perform against that opponent.
Yeah.
All right? It's a happy combination, a happy mix.
Oh, sure.
So I don't know if it's cut and dry as you presented it or wanted to present it or as I want to present it. But that being said, I still think they're going to lose. I think they're a 2-loss team.
Ohio State
is a 2-loss team.
to Michigan and Michigan State then. Both of them.
Actually, let me take that back. Where's the games? Are they in East Lansing and Ann Arbor, or one of them at home? Are both of them at home?
I don't think both of them are at home. See, I don't know this because, I'm not a fan.
Hey, listen, don't pretend. When Andy pulls up his computer when we're out of here, it has Ohio State's logo on the background. That's a fact.
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
fact. Oh, yeah. What is it?
Let's put this to bed. Let's put this to bed. Here, click. Don't touch my computer.
I just want the schedule. I want the schedule.
At Michigan, home against Michigan State.
At Michigan, you're going into Ann Arbor?
Michigan State did.
Michigan State, barely. We'll talk about that
Tell
in a
me
second.
if
We'll
this
talk
is
about
Ohio
that in a second.
State.
What is it? Is that Columbus? Cleveland? Is it Cleveland? Is it Cleveland?
That is Cleveland.
So it's in Ohio City.
But it's not Ohio State.
It's still in Ohio City.
Because that's where I'm from.
Why are you proud of that?
Are you a Giants fan?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm from New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Browns fan because I'm from Cleveland.
Yeah, but at least I have
I'm an
something to be
Indians fan
proud
because I'm
of
from Cleveland.
to be from New Jersey, be from a proud sports market.
Okay, well, I'm proud to be from Ohio.
Why?
And Ohio State is a proud sports market.
Ohio State is not part of the pro market that you just referenced with the Browns and the Indians. They're a completely different entity.
Cavaliers?
Have they won anything?
Not yet.
Are they gonna?
Oh, you bet your sweet.
Give me
Tushy.
a third. Tushy? I don't like that.
No.
Give me a different one. Give me a different one.
I'll think of one.
Work on a different one.
All right, let's move on here. As we're talking about Michigan and Michigan State, Zach, you want to open this for us? What a game. What a freaking game.
Yeah, that was a pretty good game. Michigan started off strong. They had the lead at halftime, and they just weren't able to hold on to it. Punter just made a bad decision at the end, a bad snap. He tried to get the punt off, and Michigan State ran it in for a touchdown with no time left on the clock, and they were unable to pull off the victory at home.
Let me start off by saying that I love sports so much. I'm gonna start off by saying this actually. I love sports very much because it always gives you that where were you at moment.
Sure.
Where were you at when
Absolutely.
Michigan State beat Michigan with 10 seconds left? Where were you at?
Wait. Can you please pull up your computer screen right now?
No.
Can you please?
No.
Yes.
No.
For the folks at home, Andy has used dictionary.com, thesaurus.com, just to get a couple references for the word butt.
Zach demands that I.
Look at this.
Zach demands that I had
Look at
better
that.
butt references.
No, I mean, I appreciate it. I just thought they were going to come off the top of the head. It's not as impressive now. You know? It's not as impressive.
Anywho,
Where were you at moment? I'm sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
where were you at moment? I love that moment. You know, when you talk about these games, 10, 15 years, because that was one of the best games in Michigan State rivalry history, probably the best.
Of course.
Where were you at moment? And where was I? I'm about to tell you. Thanks for asking.
Please.
I was working last night in the ticket office.
Mm-hmm.
That play happened at the very, very beginning of the Clemson-Boston College game.
Okay.
And we have a TV in the ticket office, and we weren't busy at the time. We were pretty much dead. So we were watching. We started watching the Clemson game, and I knew that the Michigan State game was really close. And I picked Michigan State on the show here Wednesday. Who'd you pick, Zach?
I picked Michigan.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
That's brutal. That is brutal. Just setting them up for failure right there.
Hey,
You gave him 5 seconds, had him say Michigan, and switch back.
I'm sorry, that was mean. I wish Willie was here. Ask me who I picked between LSU and Florida, Zach. Ask me who I picked.
Who'd you pick for that game?
I picked Florida.
You picked Florida for that game?
Was that a bad pick?
Absolutely.
Oh, it was.
Absolutely.
What's the final score? What's the final score?
Who won the game?
Did you
Who
know it was
won
going
the
to be?
game?
Did you see it being that close?
Who won the game?
Don't even talk to me.
You're a numbers guy, right?
Anywho,
Who won the game?
I was in the ticket office, and Clemson just went 3-and-out, and we're punting, and it's going to commercial. And I start to flip back to the Michigan State-Michigan game, and everybody in that office goes, "What are you doing?" I'm flipping back to the Michigan State-Michigan game. There's 10 seconds left, and Michigan's punting it back to Michigan State. Michigan State's down. It's a great game. They go, "No, the Clemson game is on. The Clemson game stays on." I'm like, "It's commercial." They go, "I don't care." I'm like, "Whatever, fine." I figured Michigan's just gonna punt. It's 10 seconds left.
You missed
What
the
are
moment.
What are the chances? I missed the moment. So we're sitting here. Commercial comes back on. Clemson goes off, and Clemson game comes back on, and one of my workers looks at the TV and goes, "Michigan State 27, Michigan 23. Michigan State won." I went silent.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
My tight end buckered up, and I was so angry. That was a butt reference for you.
I heard it. I didn't like it, but I heard it.
It was.
Was that one of them on the list?
Yeah, it was.
People-
My derriere, my rear, my rump, my posterior, my seat, my tail, my tush, my butt, my bottom, my behind, my butt, my cask, my cylinder, my drum. That's an interesting one.
Drum?
My drum, I guess. Anywho, and I look at my boss, and I look at him. No, and my boss is pretty cool. And this was completely jokingly, but so I was like, that is why I want to switch back. I didn't get to see the play until it was all over the internet. 5 minutes later, but I missed the moment.
I mean, I'm sorry.
No, it completely is. But the thing with that is, I don't know where I was going with that. It's just really a story.
I guess
to
so.
kind of segue in. But the fact of the matter is that was a game that you'll remember forever. And that was just a little fun story I wanted to share with you. Completely anticlimactic. I was never a very good storyteller.
Yeah, just awful.
Just awful storyteller.
Bad.
But Michigan fans everywhere. And coming from Ohio, I have a lot of Michigan friends.
I'm sure.
And there's Michiganing. That's a thing.
Okay.
And that's what they're calling that right
All
now.
right.
So what do you... I'm going to go back to Zach here.
Well, real quick though, we need to get if anybody wants, is anybody watching? We can get a quick call in if you'd like to disagree with our boy Andy over here, or share your "where were you at" moment.
Where were you not at moment?
Exactly. 864
Or why were you not at
656 1226 864 656 1226.
All right. Anywho, so we can stop having this Zach talk. Zach, what was your opinions on the game? I know you kind of gave the the summary of the game earlier, but what were your opinions? What were you? Well, first of all, did you end up watching the game? Because I know there were so many other good games last night. This was a really good weekend.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of the game actually in the dining hall before I actually left to go to the Clemson game, so I saw a little bit of it. I believe it was the second or third quarter when I was watching it, but Michigan did a pretty good job stopping the run. I thought they would get a little bit more pressure on Connor Cook. I was expecting him to at least turn the ball over once or twice, but he didn't throw any interceptions. He threw 328 yards, a touchdown, 18 of 39 passing. So not very efficient, but he did throw for a lot of yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, what were your opinions, Mr.
What?
I don't even want to give you a name. I can't. This is a
What do you
family
got?
show.
What do you got?
No.
What do you got?
What are your opinions?
Oh, well, what do you got?
What are your opinions? I'm giving you 2 minutes.
You're limiting my time now.
Yep.
This is a 50-50 show. You're limiting my time?
It's not 50-50.
How is it not?
This is 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, 33. You're forgetting about him. Look at this guy.
Look at him.
Can I get you up here?
Listen, by all means,
Sure,
as
sure.
far
Actually,
away.
I could actually have an intelligent conversation.
So now I'm
And I
not
can
even
have-
intelligent.
And I can have a fun conversation with a guy that I actually like talking to.
Andy, listen, I don't want to start my Sunday mornings off like this. I don't want to come here and constantly berate you on TV and just show the world that you don't know what you're talking about. But
Oh,
I
really?
will if I have to.
Oh, really? At what point have I said this show that I've been just been completely wrong?
I mean, as soon as you started doing the whole biased Ohio State thing, I feel like all of your credibility just went out the window.
Because Ohio State is the undisputed number one team.
Undisputed?
Yes. Who's better?
Undisputed.
Who's better?
Like 5 other teams.
Name them.
Let me look at that top
Name
5.
them and give me stats.
Let me look at that top 5.
And yes, for you viewers at home here, Zach thinks that he shows me every Sunday how I don't know anything about
Baylor's
anything.
better.
Baylor is better.
TCU's better.
Oh, get TCU.
You ready for that? Utah is better.
Utah.
The Utes
You're
are better.
You're joking.
The Utes. I think Alabama's a better team right now as well. That's a serious one.
TCU. Is TCU better than Ohio State?
No, Baylor is though.
TCU's offense is better than Ohio State's offense.
Baylor's is too. Baylor's is
Their
so
defense.
Has
both
Baylor
of-
scored less than 60 yet?
How many have they let up?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter if you're scoring 60 plus.
Oh, it doesn't matter if you're scoring 60
Oh,
plus.
no,
So if
sir.
you score 60 and your other team scores 70, does that mean you win?
Well,
Zach, I could be
well,
wrong.
Andy,
Zach,
I guess that means you lose.
Zach,
Yeah.
if I score 60 and another team scores 70, do I win that game?
Yes.
Zach, you're joking. If I score 60 and the other team wins 70, or scores
Yes.
70, do I win?
The other team wins.
Thank you. What are you saying yes? Did you not hear me?
You playing games out there?
You're
No,
playing
no,
games
no,
out
no.
there.
Cycle through your tabs.
I just
Two
I
weeks
just pulled
ago-
up the schedule.
2 weeks ago, we had our producer Taylor, who's working extremely hard right now.
I wish we could get a camera on him, to be honest with you.
We had our producer Taylor over here. We had our
Does he got
playing. He
Taylor
was
on?
playing.
Oh, man.
He was. Oh, Taylor. He was playing what I don't know what game it was called.
What was the game called?
Some
It was some race
it was
car
some race car game over there, and Zach and I would flash over to him, try and ask him a question, and he would zero clue.
He was sleeping at one point. I think.
Zero clue. I'm pretty sure he was asleep at one point. So thank you, Zach, for being into it. Thank you for being.
Is that chair? Is the chair comfortable?
Is the chair? How comfortable is that chair? It looks comfortable.
It's pretty comfortable.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It leans back a lot.
Hey, get you a lean. Can you get a lean? Oh, that's
look at
not
that
bad.
lean.
Oh, it's
Look
not
at that
bad.
lean. Anywho,
I know what we're talking about.
Baylor's offense and how they can score 60, and well, they score 60. It shouldn't matter when they score 60. Well, what happens when
It shouldn't.
What happens when
You're telling me-
TCU, who has an equally, I think, better offense than Baylor, scores 70 or scores 61 maybe?
TCU has the better offense than Baylor.
I said maybe.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm going to look at it right now. TCU has a better offense than Baylor. Let's take a gander. I think the reason we don't get along, Anderson,
It's because you're wrong.
is simple.
It's because you're wrong.
No, it's simple. You're a nitpicker.
I'm a nitpicker.
You're a
so
nit-
I
you're a
pick
nit-
stats.
you're a nitpicker.
I pick only the stats that make my
No,
argument work.
no.
But you
No,
see the
no.
bigger picture.
Oh yeah,
You are the almighty Zach Orr.
What I'm trying to tell you right now is you're a nitpicker.
Okay.
all you do
Mm-hmm.
is you take little things out of a person's argument.
Oh, sure.
Things that can be possibly
The wrong
misconstrued
They're not, though.
as being, the wrong point or, a different
Mm-hmm.
view.
Mm-hmm.
And you take those and you run with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk and you talk and you talk.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get going.
Oh, sure.
And I guess you talk yourself in your head
Mm-hmm.
into thinking
Mm-hmm.
you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
You're a nitpicker.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Guess what's your point?
I'm just making a statement.
Okay.
Let's talk about the offense.
Well, why are you looking at those stats?
Sure.
Zach, do you have an opinion? Whose offense is better? TCU's, Baylor's? Who do you got there?
Well, I saw TCU struggle earlier in the season against Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
And Baylor, I like Baylor's offense. Seth Russell, he's excellent at quarterback. He's pretty good. And they have a receiver, Corey Coleman. He already has 16 receiving touchdowns. He set a school record yesterday against West Virginia. But for receiving touchdowns in the season, we're halfway through the season, he already has 16.
Oh, I mean, give me a grade, or
A grade?
give me a ranking. What do you rank overall, like in all college football? Baylor's offense and then TCU's offense.
Definitely probably top 5 for both. Probably Baylor at 1, TCU probably like 3. Not far off, but I like Baylor's over
Yeah.
TCU.
All right, that's fair. And then let's go back to the almighty Zach Orr. What do you think, buddy?
I think TCU has a better quarterback.
A lot better quarterback.
Boykin is
A dirty dog.
Something serious. I think I saw a stat last night when I was watching ESPN. I think who's their receiver that has
Josh
a million
Doctson.
Yeah.
Josh Doctson.
Yeah.
He's got like 1 million touchdowns, 6 games for the season.
That's not a true.
It is
that's
a
not
million. It's
true
a million.
statement.
It's at around 1 million.
No.
It's
Nope.
close.
He has 12 touchdowns.
Good.
Yeah, that's almost 1 million. Yeah, if you times that by
Through 6 games, it might as well be.
no,
That is a ton.
that's a lot. Yeah. All right. So what's the point you're trying to make it?
What the point I'm trying to make, my adoring co-host, is
I'm adoring.
I
I'm more
know.
than adoring.
TCU has a great passing attack. Great. Baylor has a better rushing attack. Strictly by the numbers, they have a better rushing attack.
Okay.
Okay? When it comes down to it, if they're going to go head-to-head, based on pure opinion,
Uh-huh.
Baylor has better offense.
Okay.
They're split 50-50 if you're going to look at rushing and you're going to look at receiving. It's 50-50.
It really. I mean, yards per game. Baylor 720, which is
Absurd.
Wow.
It's absurd.
and TCU 616. I mean, which is
Still absurd.
still absurd. I just
So, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say.
and then Baylor and TCU are right there. 63.8 for Baylor points per game, and then 50.1 for TCU.
It's
I
just
mean,
not fair.
it's not fair. I guess we'll see who really is the better team, who has a better offense when they play each other at the end of the year. But right now, I don't think Baylor can beat Ohio State, and that's not biased here. That really isn't. That
Okay. Give me your professional sports opinion on that then.
Baylor's defense.
Okay.
You just look at Baylor's defense, and how many points are they giving up a game? I'm trying to find them here. I'm on the defense.
24.8.
24.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and they're not playing good offenses.
Okay.
So what happens when they play in Ohio State, who's got multiple weapons?
Okay. Well, what happens when Ohio State plays them and they're not Penn State lining up across from them? What happens when they can't stop
Well, I guess
them?
you don't beat them 38-10. You only beat them 38-34.
No freaking way Ohio State beats them. There's just no way.
All right. Was there any way that Ohio State was going to beat Bama last year in the college football playoffs?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you were picking Ohio State over Bama.
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You can look at me like that all you want to, but I'm telling you that's
We're
what
going to
happened.
pick Ohio State to win over Oregon.
Ohio State over Oregon? No, I didn't think that was going to happen.
That's right.
Hey, we too deep? Is that what you're going to say right now?
That's-
You're going to bring that up
that's
to Columbus?
No,
Bring it up to Columbus.
we are too deep, though.
Is that right? We. That's
Yeah,
you.
mouse in your pocket. Who's this we?
No, man, I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know.
When I say Clemson, I say we.
You can't have it both ways.
You go both ways.
Can we say that? I think we
What?
can.
I'm saying you go both ways.
In what sense?
In like your opinions.
Oh, okay.
All right. Moving on here.
Let's talk about Let's talk about Ole Miss.
No, let's not.
Let's
because
talk about Ole
I
Miss.
hate Ole Miss.
I know, but you're gonna like talking about this.
God, they smell like.
Give me something.
They smell like Firkin.
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 For the people at home.
Firkin. 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 They smell like hog sheet. They smell like receptacle.
Ooh,
They smell like vessel.
that was an abrasive one. Receptacle. I don't like that one.
What do you think, Zach? What do you think? Opinions on Ole Miss, opinions on the season, their hot start to now their unbelievable downfall. What do you think? What's your lookout for them the rest of the season?
They're in the SEC West. I still think they can pull off a few upsets, even though they dropped 2. They can still surprise some teams in the SEC West. But Chad Kelly, he struggled yesterday. 2 interceptions, 33 of 47, 372 yards. And also, one thing to mention, Robert Kimdichie went down with a concussion. So we're going to see how that affects him and the team throughout the season.
Mr. Almighty?
Listen.
I'm going to try not to.
Listen.
Okay?
I don't want to be happy about a loss for a team. I don't want to wish ill on some other team. But when that team trots out Chad Kelly at quarterback and a defensive lineman who should be in orange and white week in and week out and then proceeds to lose to the Memphis Tigers, I wasn't sad to see that scoreline pop up in the Valley yesterday.
I wasn't even the least bit
I
sad.
was not.
How loud did the Death Valley cheer for that?
There was a hearty clap.
Yeah.
There was a hearty clap. Kelly struggled.
Yeah, he did.
2 touchdowns, great. 2 interceptions. He had a 51.3 QBR. You need to be better than that if you're going to play in the vaunted SEC and lead your team to victory. You need to be better than that.
Memphis Tigers, though, I mean, let's not take anything away from them. They're undefeated.
Okay.
Paxton Lynch, their quarterback, went 39 for 53.
Did you know the name Paxton Lynch before?
Not
just
even a
now?
little bit.
I didn't think so. Me neither.
3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 72.3 QBR. Wow.
They beat up on Kansas at the beginning of the year, 55-23.
Is Memphis
The thing, they're
getting in there? Zach, what do you think? What do you think about Memphis? What do you think about Memphis here?
They're a good team. They're in a weak, pretty conference.
the American.
They have Houston, Temple, East Carolina. So they still have to play at Tulsa, at Houston, who's
Yep.
in the.
Is Tulsa a game?
You say what?
Is Tulsa like a opponent? Like, are they like a?
That's an 8 o'clock start. That's an 8 p.m. start.
Yeah,
Is Tulsa
next
good?
week. And they still have to go to Houston, who's undefeated as well, 6-0 in the same division, same side in the West. So if they pull out that win, they're gonna probably be in the conference championship.
If you think that they go undefeated, if Memphis ends up going undefeated, well, what do you think their outlook is on for bowl status? What do you think? Well, what do you think they're going to finish ranked?
They can definitely get in the top 25, probably like the teens, 16, 17 if they stay undefeated. But I don't think they move too high just because of their schedule. They really don't play anybody other than Ole Miss. That's the only other ranked team, Ole Miss and Houston. Only 2 ranked teams on their schedule, so I don't think they move too high.
Let me ask you this: do you think it's fair that so they go undefeated Memphis team that has a victory like Ole Miss on their schedule? They say they beat Houston, obviously. They win out. Is it fair for them only to be in the teens or that kind of position? Shouldn't they not be higher?
Well, I definitely think you have to look at strength of schedule.
Okay.
And I know that's one thing that the committee looks at. So their schedule just really isn't too strong. Maybe if they added a few opponents ranked in the top 25 in the non-conference schedule, maybe that'll help them out. But other than that, their conference just isn't one of the strongest conferences, Power 5 conferences in college football.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know, just to stay on the record here and make sure I keep my arguments in a row here.
You are sensitive tonight.
I just want to make
You're
sure I cover all my
sensitive.
bases. I don't want my rump to get busted.
Oh, there it is. Is that 5?
That's 5. So I did say Ohio State, you know, you can't look at who they play. Well, you got to look at who they play, but you also got to look at how bad they beat those teams. So yes, I want to keep that in mind here. And Memphis, I mean, Zach, I agree 100,000, 50 billion% with you that if they go undefeated, I think they won't.
Official number?
They won't go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is a really big number. I think that they will be in the teens, but I don't think they'll get really any higher than like 15 or 16, just strictly because who they play. But they beat Kansas really bad. Mississippi State, or is that Missouri State? Missouri State, sorry. 63-7. Ole Miss 37-24. Southern Florida 24-17. Cincinnati 53-46. So Memphis isn't a bad team. They're playing sub-average teams, but they're beating them.
I mean, I'm not saying that they should be ranked higher than that. I was simply trying to initiate the conversation.
I was just pointing the conversation. I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah.
I
agree with both of you. 100,000, 50%, million, billion, whatever that number was you just shot out.
Million, billion, yeah. It's a very high number.
That's a big number. How many zeros in that?
A lot of zeros.
A lot of zeros?
A lot of zeros. So yeah, I mean, college football, very good. Very end of good week here. Do you want to go to NFL?
Do you want to talk about any other games? We can talk about...
We hit on Alabama and A&M. I mean,
Yeah,
we
we
didn't
did.
really go into deep there, but we did talk about them.
we didn't really talk about Florida LSU.
All right, yeah, I guess
I feel like
you're
that
right.
deserves
you're right.
our attention.
All right,
and maybe a little bit Notre Dame USC, and then we can move
Yep.
on.
We try to make picks on Wednesday nights here. 8:30, called the Extra Point. Me and Zach are on. Zach, the good Zach, are on the panel there, hosted along with Willie Webb and Matthew Peterson, hosted by Horace Priester at 8:30. So don't forget. But we make picks here. And I picked Florida.
You're that
Zach,
Florida.
who'd you pick?
I picked LSU.
Yeah, you did. Tell me why.
Fournette, 31 carries, 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I didn't think Florida would stop him.
Yeah, and they didn't, and that is the reason why they lost. Yeah.
No.
Pretty much. Brandon Harris didn't play too bad either. 13 and 19, 202 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it was a pretty balanced game overall. Malachi Dupree on the outside, 4 receptions, 115 yards, and he had both of the passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he gave Vernon Hargrave some fits.
Mr. Almighty.
I'm done with that nickname.
I'm not.
Okay. I don't think the reason Florida lost was because they couldn't stop Fournette. It was a huge factor in that game. The reason they lost is because they lost their starting quarterback. I mean, what were those, 5 days before the game? It's not easy to go to a place like LSU to the fake Death Valley and to try to pull off what would be an upset from the numbers standpoint with your backup quarterback, and you're facing a guy like Leonard Fournette, who is just a man amongst boys when he's out there. I mean, the videos that come out every week of him just throwing defenders.
He threw fists at
It was
Florida defenders last
fantastic.
night.
It's like when you have siblings? Or are you an only child?
I have 4 siblings.
Older or younger?
1 older and then 3 younger.
You're playing football in the backyard with them, and you're bigger than them, and you can take them and just throw them out of the way.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's what Fournette does on a week-to-week basis. That's just what he does, and it's crazy to watch.
He's AP.
Yeah, he's the best thing in college football since AP
AP.
at Oklahoma. But that being said, the reason Florida lost is because they don't have a starting quarterback, a true starting quarterback with them going into Baton Rouge. They just didn't have it.
And that's the thing, using that kind of point and kind of spinning it a little bit. But I think Florida is a better team than LSU.
Overall, like rounded, absolutely, I agree with that.
I think 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for that trick field goal
Yeah.
that in the fourth quarter, that was the only points that were scored in the fourth quarter. If it wasn't for that, tie ball game, different thing. You take Trayon Harris out. That was Florida's starting quarterback last night.
Mm.
You take him out, who had a 51.3 QBR, 17 for 32, 271 yards, 2 touchdowns. You take him out, substitute in Mr. Number 1, and you got a whole different ball game. You got Florida winning that ball game.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You lose your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And just a dumb move by that kid, by the way.
Definitely.
Like, we haven't talked about that. Just a dumb move.
I hate when these stories come out, because there's so many other people wanting a chance. There's so many other people that would love their athletic ability, and you see these guys just throwing it away on a constant basis, daily basis. But going back to the game here, I don't want to talk too much about the personal lives because everybody does that. I don't care about that. I want to talk about strictly the sports.
Well, I think that you need to talk about that a little bit. It needs to be brought up because these kids that get trotted out every week, these kids are whether we like it or not, role models and idols.
Yeah, definitely.
For
Definitely.
little guys that look up to them, that grow up a
Like
Gator
you?
fan.
Do you look up to?
Oh yeah.
Are you a little Gator fan?
Exactly. Chomp chomp, right? But what I'm saying is they need to be held accountable for their actions. So we don't have to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
But it deserves some recognition and the
That
fact that he
happened.
messed up.
Yeah.
We have to address that.
Definitely.
But as far as the game goes, I think we are going to agree on this one, which sounds that's weird coming off the tongue.
I don't want to say that we agree. Let's just say that we didn't disagree.
How does that not make sense? That doesn't
Let's
make
just
sense.
we didn't disagree because I don't want to be known as agreeing with you.
It was just one time.
Nope.
That's it.
Nope.
All right. Well,
We didn't disagree.
Fine.
Yeah.
And one more thing while we're talking off the field issues, we didn't talk about the old ball coach. The head ball coach.
That's right. Yeah. Let's start off with Zach. 2 head ball coaches, both from USC.
Let's talk about the in-state one first.
All right, Zach. What do you think?
We talked about it a little bit Wednesday on the other sports show, but like
8:30 Wednesday is called the extra point.
Like I said the other day, I think it just comes down to recruiting. They just didn't have the right players in there. They got Clowney, they got Lattimore, but after that, it just kind of fell off. They're just not too good right now. They got the win yesterday over Vanderbilt, but they're just not that good right now. And I don't think it was a bad decision to leave when he did.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, if you're not improving, if you're staying, with the status quo, you're not improving, and you constantly have to be improving in some aspect, and they simply were not improving. And I thought it was a great move for not only Spurrier, but a great move for the program as well to move on and get something going. And it was honestly kind of cool to see how pumped up the new guy was before the game Saturday. Like, he got his players going.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
I think you need to address the fact that there's this man who, and before I even jump into this,
Oh, sure.
he is arguably the best of all time at what he did, coaching wise. I mean, he changed the landscape of college football. He just did, and you can't argue against that. It happened. He made Florida relevant again when he was there. He gave Duke their only ACC championship. Yeah. He made South Carolina into a relevant national program.
Yeah, that he did.
And had their best 5 years of football while he was a coach there. Okay? He was a huge figure in college football, and there's a ton of respect for that.
Yeah.
That being said, he quit. He quit. He quit. He quit. He walked out on recruits that he went into their homes. Said, ma'am, I'm going to have your son in my program for 4 years. We're going to do good things with him, make him into a man. He quit on those people. He quit on the fan base. You don't walk out mid-season on a team. You take your licks like everybody else, and you go home. If you want to retire at the end of the season, fine. He didn't even retire.
He resigned.
He resigned. He made that clear in his press conference that he resigned. He didn't think that team was good enough for him to grace with his presence.
I don't agree with that.
He didn't think they were.
Now, Zach, was that you last on the show Wednesday? That we talked about that a little bit. We talked about when the timing of his. You want to tell Mr. Almighty here what you thought about the timing?
I think somebody was going to tell him that he was going to get fired. I don't think he would have made it to the end of the season. I think he just stepped down before they actually said you're fired. So I don't think it was too bad of a decision for him to walk away when he did.
Yeah, and then I think Willie Webb, who's another one of the panelists here on the Extra Point on Wednesdays at 8:30, he said. Now, Zach, correct me here if I start going off here, but Willie said that he knows he would rather have had those guys know their coaching, who their coach is going to be next season, than to kind of go into the off season kind of unaware. So South Carolina's season was pretty much already over. So I don't think it was a bad move that he left right away. I don't think it was a bad move that he left so soon. I thought it was, that gives his current players. Now, from a recruiting standpoint, he lost a couple recruits that day.
Yeah,
I know. From a recruiting standpoint, yeah, okay, that's that. But I want to focus more on like his current players right now. they know what they're going to get from now. They know they're not getting Spurrier next season. They don't need to go into the offseason with so many questions that are unanswered.
Yeah, who's going to be the coach?
And that was Willie's point. And, on the show, I don't really agree with Willie too much. I don't agree. I agree with Willie a lot more than I, with some other people.
I think
that's what I think, and I agree with Willie there. That is kind of the whole reasoning. Is there's a lot of unanswered questions that we're gonna go into the offseason, and Spurrier wanted to answer those questions.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
When Bobby Bowden was at Florida State.
Oh, sure.
And they weren't a great team in his last couple of years. They just weren't.
They were not.
Why didn't he get fired?
Because Bobby Bowden.
Because he's a great coach.
Great coach.
When Joe Pa was at Penn State, they were not a good team his last couple of years.
They're not, but they did.
Why didn't he get fired?
They were thinking about it.
Yeah, but they did. They were not going to fire Joe Pa. They were never going to fire him. That's the same thing at South Carolina. He demanded that kind of respect.
Took down a statue.
Because that was a whole different issue. You know that as well as I do. That's a whole different issue. Aside from football, that was a different issue. We don't need to talk about that today.
Yeah, we can talk. I mean, I've been making some butt references.
Yeah, well, okay, that is way out of line. That is way out of line.
Out of line.
Way out of line. But as far as this situation goes, he was never going to get fired there. He was going to be able to leave on his own terms, and he did. So I guess if you want to give him that, that's fine. But from an outside point of view, it seems like he quit on that team, and that's kind of messed up. And I understand how they rallied around this new guy.
Yeah,
because he was excited. He was pumping players. He was hitting offensive linemen without pads and a helmet on in pregame.
Yeah, and they were hitting back.
Yeah, like they were pushing them around. These are big, 6'5", 300+ pound guys, and this is a little 5'10", 200-pound guy just being thrown around, but he's jumping right back up and hitting them again.
Yeah, definitely.
So from that point, yes, it's exciting, but I don't think they would have ousted Spurrier at any time. He would have been able to leave whenever he wanted to.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
You can't. He had the most successful run in South Carolina history. Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get
He
had.
Yeah. He had.
That's why I make the arguments about Joe Pa and about Bobby Bowden. They had successful, unbelievable runs at their respective universities.
But if you gave them a couple more years at those respective universities and they still were going down, they would have got the hook. You don't hold on to those coaches regardless if it's not working anymore. You as a program need to improve constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. But we need to move on to NFL now. We've spent so long on college football. So let's do a little preview of this week right here. Let's get some predictions here. I'll pull them up. 1 o'clock, in about 2 hours, we have the Washington Redskins facing off at New York Jets. 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 Let's we had our producers, the other week we were on. Jushan made a couple picks, and Taylor made a couple picks when he was on. But Taylor made some previous picks here. So what did Taylor pick here, Jushan, for? Yeah. Well, let's Taylor, just my fabulous producer over here. So let's look back on the previous picks, and I couldn't agree more. So Jushan, if you got a mic this week, can you say the standings and the records of the picks and the names of who picked who? Well, you don't need to say who picked who, but the totals.
All right, so Andy and Taylor are tied with 10 wins, 3 losses.
Now is that tied for first?
You're tied for first.
Ah, okay.
Zach is behind 9-4.
So does that mean he's not first?
He is not.
First
Okay.
loser.
Then I'm in last place with 7-6.
You had 7-6.
You got 7-6. Oh boy. So let's try to widen our gap here, Taylor, against Mr. Almighty. I'll come up with a better nickname for next week.
I would appreciate that.
Jushan, what did Taylor pick here for the Redskins against the Jets?
He picked the Jets.
Pick the Jets. Zach, what's your pick here?
I'm going to go with the Jets as well.
You're gonna go with the Jets as well. Can you give me a little explanation?
I just like what they're doing on offense. They got Chris Ivory back, I think, last week. Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker on the outside, Ryan Fitzpatrick. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, they're going to be fine. I think Washington, they're going to turn the ball over a few times. That Jets defense is something serious.
Oh, yeah.
So I like the Jets.
You like the Jets? All right.
What do you got, Andy?
I got the Redskins. I think that they're not that good of a team, but I think the Jets need a little knockdown off their pedestal here. Their Jets defense is ranked second overall. Very good. But their offense is something to be said for. Redskins had the 11th offense. Who knew?
Kirk Cousins?
Who knew? Who knew? And I think maybe the Jets defense takes a little hit this time. They're due. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. Or I'm sorry, the Redskins.
I was gonna go Redskins, but I'm gonna have to go with the Jets.
Good.
Based on the fact that
I picked the Redskins?
that you picked the Redskins, and as was previously stated, that defense is something serious. They don't mess around on defense up there. They do not mess around on defense. That defensive line and those cornerbacks are among the best in the league.
Yeah.
And I don't buy the Redskins as a team. They're wildly inconsistent. I know you just told me they're 11th in offense, which is really surprising.
Yeah, who knew?
But I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Jets.
All right. We got next up Arizona Cardinals and Pittsburgh Steelers. Who did Taylor pick? Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. Wow.
It's all about Andy on the show here, guys. As soon as he's ready to move on, we're ready to go.
I'm a rumphole. Jushan, what'd you pick?
I picked the Jets.
You picked the Jets. So what is that? What is that? 4 Jets, one Redskin?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be the lone Redskin. All right. What do we got here from Taylor for Arizona and Pittsburgh?
He picked the Cardinals.
Picked the Cardinals. All right. Not a bad pick. Zach, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the Cardinals as well. Pittsburgh struggled against San Diego. I think Le'Veon Bell coming back is going to help, but I just think the Cardinals are just too good. I like what they're doing on offense as well. They got Andre Ellington back, Chris Johnson, two-headed monster. I think they're splitting carries right now, so we're going to see how that works. And Carson Palmer, as long as he's healthy, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's go to Jushan here so I don't forget him.
All right, I'm going to go pick the Cardinals as well.
Okay.
Michael Vick is just too inconsistent at this point, and the Steelers' defense is just terrible. So,
yeah,
just terrible.
Just terrible, man. Just terrible.
Just terrible.
What do you got?
I'm going to take the Steelers at home. Arizona's obviously a West Coast team. They got to come all the way to the East Coast. Pittsburgh had a nice little come from behind win last year. It was exciting.
Very.
It was really exciting. Obviously, Big Ben is not playing this week, but Mike Vick, maybe getting comfortable in that role, maybe settling in a little bit. And whenever you have a guy like Bell in the backfield, you have a chance to win the ball game.
Stuff happens.
So, we'll call it an upset if you want to, but I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh as well for pretty much the exact same reasons, but I'm not going to. We're not agreeing. We're just not disagreeing. Michael Vick is extremely consistent, and I'm hoping for a consistent game here. So this is an upset here, but I think the Steelers will get it for almost the same reasons, except the fact that they're my own reasons.
That was really, really nice. We agreed right there.
Thank you. No, we did not.
We did.
We did not disagree.
Yeah, we
All right.
did.
Chiefs, the Vikings. Who did Taylor pick?
he picked the Vikings.
He picked the Vikings. All right. Why? Did he give it a reason why? Because the Bears just beat the Chiefs, and it's the Bears. All right, let's
Bears.
Let's go to Mr. Zachary here.
I guess I'm going to go with the Chiefs, even though Jamal Charles is injured. I like their defense, Tamba Ali, Justin Houston on the outside trying to bring pressure. They're going to have to stop AP, though. I say low-scoring game, but I like the Chiefs.
The Chiefs? All right. Jushan, what do you say here?
I'm going Vikings because Jamal Charles is out, and Alex Smith cannot throw the ball downfield at all.
All right.
I didn't get it.
What do you got here?
Me?
Yep.
Like you talked about, Jamal Charles is injured, and I don't think they can overcome that. As a 1-4 team right now, you're going to Minnesota. Give me Adrian Peterson and give me the Vikings.
Give me liberty or give me death.
Exactly.
Give me liberty, give me death. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings as well. AP is unreal again. Every song comes. They have the 31st best offense. They got the second worst offense. But they got the second best rushing offense, which just shows you how bad their passing game is.
Teddy, man.
But Kansas City's defense is just something. Ugh.
Something else.
They're something else.
Something
They're
serious.
not something serious.
They're not?
They're not something serious.
No?
No, Minnesota's rushing is gonna. I think AP is just gonna run all over them in Minnesota. 39 degrees currently.
Minnesota. Are they an indoor stadium?
So I'm picking Minnesota.
Yeah, they're a dome.
Yeah, but still. All right, let's go to Cincinnati and Buffalo. What did Taylor pick here?
The Bengals.
The Bengals. All right, Zach, what do you say?
I'm going to go with the Bengals as well. A.J. Green on the outside. I don't see how Rex Ryan's defense is going to stop that. They also have some problems. Sammy Watkins wants the ball on offense, so we'll see how that works. But I like the Bengals in this one.
All right. Sean.
I also like the Bengals because E.J. Manuel was starting at quarterback for the Bills.
what an argument. Zach?
Don't
say it.
Huh?
Don't say it.
I like the Bills. I like the fighting Rex Ryans.
All right, so
Based on the fact
who are you picking now?
Based on the fact that they're at home, they have, like he said, E.J. Manuel starting a quarterback. I think he's a better option than Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. I just believe that. Sammy's demanding the ball. I think it's a crybaby move, by the way, but he's going to get more looks today. And I think Cincinnati goes into Buffalo and takes the L. I'm going to go with the Bills.
I wish he didn't do that.
You want to pick the Bills?
I'm gonna pick the Bills still. I'm picking the Bills as well.
Dude, it's gonna come down to that Redskins game.
It's gonna come down to Redskins.
It's gonna come down to
but I'm picking the Bills as well, and it's strictly because Bengals have had a pretty good season. You know, they're 5-0. They're going into Buffalo. 37 degrees currently. I mean, Bengals. I mean, Cincinnati's not anything warm, so you know they're somehow used to the cold. They got the 21st best defense. You know, not a good defense at all. Their offense has been the second best in the whole entire league, and I think that's coming down. I don't think they're the second best offense. And the Bills, I honestly don't think it's a crybaby move for Sammy Watkins to demand the ball, to want the ball, say that he needs the more. If you have a playmaker, and Sammy Watkins is a playmaker,
sure,
and he feels like he's not getting the ball enough, it's like Kobe Bryant not getting enough shots.
Okay.
Back in his prime.
In his prime.
In his prime.
Just make sure to put that in there.
In his prime.
That being said,
is that a crybaby because Kobe wants more shots? No, Kobe's the GOAT.
Sammy has been injured. He was averaging 10 receptions, or 10 targets a game when he was playing. And then he got injured, and obviously you're not getting receptions because you're not playing the stinking game. And for you to come out and be like, I need more receptions, I need more targets, I need at least 10 a game, you're making me look bad. Stay on the field and stay healthy.
I think
shut up and play the game. That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear you talk.
Shut up and get him the ball.
Shut up and play the game.
Shut up and get him the ball.
Stay healthy, and get on the field. If you let your playing do the talking for you, we don't even have to talk about this. Don't be a crybaby NFL receiver. Don't be a diva. Just catch the ball and do your job. Do your job.
I got the Bills. All right, what did Taylor say for the Bears and the Lions?
He picked the Bears.
He picked the Bears. All right, Zach.
I'm going to go with the Lions. I think they get their first win of the season. Looking at their schedule, they play some really good teams. They play the Chargers, the Vikings, Broncos, Seahawks, and Cardinals. Their first 5 games, but this is a division game today. They're at home. I think they get the win.
Jushan?
I'm also going Lions because they're also at home, and like I said last time, the Bears are trash.
Jushan. That's awesome. All right. I'm going to pick first this time. And I'm going to go with the Lions as well for a third consecutive person here. And they're due for a win. They are. They got the 9th best passing offense. Their defense is something else. You know, Dominican Sue really, really hurt that team. And they have the worst rushing offense. But I think it's going to click because the Bears are trash, as Jushan has said 2 weeks in a row now. But I think the Lions win, and I think the Lions are going to win pretty well. I mean, they're coming in. Bears are coming into their place now. I think the Lions will get off the old schneid right quick.
Bears easy in that one.
Easy.
Lions beat themselves way too easily, especially at home for some reason. They just want to torture the Detroit fans.
That's true.
So give me the Bears.
All right. Moving on.
Can you hear that chant before? The Brownies chant?
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. That's right. All right, we got the Broncos 5-0 coming into Cleveland to face the Browns 2-3. What did Taylor pick?
He picked the Broncos.
Yeah, he did. Zach?
Broncos. I think Joe Hayden's going to be out with a concussion. So Demaryius Thomas, look for him to have a big game. Emmanuel Sanders, I just don't see how the Browns will slow them down on offense.
All right. Jushan.
I'm going to go Broncos as well.
Yeah, you are. Is there a reason for that?
Because it's the Browns.
Because it's the Browns. That's as good a reason as any right there.
Because it's the Browns. You better watch your friggin' self. All right,
Friggin'. Was there 2 G's in that?
friggin'. Yeah. All surprised. You better watch your friggin' self. All right, what do you say?
Broncos. It's the Browns, like you said. They're not a good team. They're just is it McCown? He's hurting this week, I believe too, isn't he?
He's in.
I know, but he's hurting. He was on the injury report.
Okay.
All right, and this is a Broncos team that I'm pretty sure can push him around a little bit in the pocket. So I'm going to take the Broncos. I think Peyton Manning is far superior to who you're lining up at quarterback, and I think that translates into at least a two touchdown win.
Without looking at my stats.
Yeah.
You ready?
Go ahead. Tell me why the Browns are going to win.
This quarterback has 101 completions as to 149 attempts, has 1,203 yards and 6 touchdowns, compared to the other quarterback who has 120 completions, 189 attempts, 1,234 yards, only 30 more yards, and 6 touchdowns. Who's who? A or B? Which one's who? Which one's Peyton? Which one's Josh? Josh is A. And Peyton is B. And I do remember correctly when we were talking about the Dalvin against Ezekiel, you made notice how Ezekiel had 30 more carries and only 30 more yards. Well, Peyton has 20 more completions than Josh McCown and only 30 more yards. Same amount of touchdowns.
Let me ask you this.
Josh McCown has had 300 passing yards 3 straight games.
Let me ask you this.
Okay, how many times are you going to say, let me ask you this before you ask me?
How many rings does McCown have?
0.
How many does Peyton have?
1.
Now, you're a big numbers guy.
Does Peyton even have?
Peyton's got a ring, and we've been talking about this all day. Can we throw it to Zach real quick?
Yeah.
Zach, is 1 greater than 0?
Yes.
Thank you, man. Let's bring it back. So, from that logic, and based on the fact that
how many
I don't
years has
think-
Peyton been in?
I don't care about that. I don't care. He's a better quarterback.
Josh McCown's
He's a
only
better,
been in the 4
He's a
years.
superior quarterback, superior mind on the field.
Not this
Don't
year.
try to argue with me that
Not this
McCown is
year.
a better quarterback. That's bull.
You and I said here.
That is absolute bull. You can't even believe that yourself. Come on, man.
Look at the stats, bro. Look
Come
at the
on.
stats over the career. I'm
You
not saying
don't
that they're.
believe that.
I'm not saying that they're.
You don't believe that.
I'm not saying that McCown is even can hold a candle to Peyton's career. But this season, McCown is playing extremely well.
He's not even the best quarterback on the team, and you admitted that to me. We've talked about
2
this
weeks ago,
outside
I
the
admitted,
show.
and I am completely wrong.
I don't believe that.
McCown has won that starting spot 10 times over.
All right, you're taking the Browns?
I'm taking the Browns.
Let's move on. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'm taking. You didn't even let me say my pick.
Go ahead.
They got
What
the
do you want?
6th best passing offense, the 8th best offense in general.
Okay.
Yes, their defense needs
Go
some
Browns.
work.
They're going to win. The 2 and 3 Browns are going to be the 5-0 Broncos this
We'll
week.
see.
They're
All
gonna
right,
win.
Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars. Who did Taylor pick?
He picked the Jaguars.
You picked the Jaguars. All right, Zach.
I like the Texans. I think they get the win. J.J. Watt finally picks it up on defense and makes some big plays. I like the Texans.
All right, Jushan.
So who's the home team?
Jacksonville's the home team.
I'm going to go with the Texans.
The Texans. All right. Why?
Because Blake Bortles, I think he's going to be good one day, but he's not there yet.
He's not there yet. All right.
And then the rest of the team is just bad.
It's just bad. What do you got here?
I'm going Jacksonville because Texas, the Houston Texans don't have Clowney playing tonight. They don't have Watt. He's sick.
No.
They're going to Jacksonville.
Wait,
They're just-
Watt's not playing?
No, he's sick. He's got an illness.
I'm going Jaguars.
No, I don't think you can change.
You can't change.
We're not going
We're
to
still
allow
going
that.
Texans.
That's not fair.
No, you got to go Texans. So I'm going to go Jacksonville at home to get the W.
This is this game is not good.
Oh, it is bad,
And if Watt and Clowney are playing, Texans wins for sure. For sure.
but they're not.
But they're not playing.
Watt is question. He's a game time decision, but they're leading towards now, as of this morning.
Arian Foster is back. I don't know.
Who
I
is
got the
starting?
Texans here.
They started Mallet, or they're starting.
I got the Texans here, and it's because Texans have the 5th best offense, the 4th best passing offense, the 20th best rushing offense, and Arian Foster's back, which means that's hopefully going to improve. I got the Texans here. I don't think Jacksonville's good, and hopefully the Texans can go in there and get a W here for me. All right, Dolphins, Titans. What did Taylor get?
He picked the Titans.
Pick the Titans. Zach.
I think I'd go with the Titans, too. I think Dick LeBeau, defensive coordinator for them, is going to come up with a game plan, try to stop Tannehill, and I think Mariota has, 3 touchdowns today.
Ooh, 3 touchdowns. All right. You, Sean?
I'm going to go Titans because right now the Titans are a more stable team than the Dolphins are. And Mariota's better than Tannehill right now.
Mariota is a lot better than Tannehill. What do you got here, Zach?
Titans.
Titans?
Yep. It's an easy pick for me.
Yeah. I'm going Titans as well. So I think that was a sweep there?
Yeah.
All right. We have now the Carolina Panthers 4-0 going in to Seattle. What did Taylor pick?
Panthers.
Panthers, all right. Well, shocking there. All right, what did Zach pick?
Seattle, coming off a loss against the Bengals, the way they lost in overtime. They're in front of the home crowd today, and I just don't think the Panthers have enough weapons. I don't think Cam Newton can do it all today against the Seahawks.
All right, you, Sean?
I'm going with the Panthers.
Going with the Panthers.
And they need a statement win. This is going to be it's going to be a big win for them. They have a good defense. Seattle doesn't have a good offense.
Panthers. I'm going to go Seattle. Seattle gets Marshawn Lynch back today. I think Lynch is going to have something to say about the Panthers coming into Seattle and thinking they can stop it. I think Luke Kuechly is back today for the Panthers as well.
He is. Yep.
So that's exciting for the Carolina Panthers fans, and I'm sure he's gonna be a great addition to that defense again. The guy's an animal at linebacker. That being said, Seattle's a tough place to play, and that's a far trip for a Carolina team. I'm going to take Seattle at home. Easy.
It sickens me to do this again, but I'm taking Seattle as well. Seattle, like you said, they get Marshawn Lynch back, and Marshawn Lynch, even when he's been back this year, he hasn't been Marshawn Lynch he's been in past years. You know, the third down conversion is for Seattle is 34.9%, as opposed to Carolina's 39%, almost 40%. Marshawn Lynch is going to help that for Seattle. You know, they have that third down back. Hopefully, you know, he's back to normal. But points per game, Carolina's got 27, Seattle's only got 22. But basically, other than that, Seattle's got the better offense. Seattle's rushing yards per game are higher, passing yards per game are higher, total yards per game obviously are higher if those two are higher. But I mean, defense obviously, Carolina's got the edge there and getting their anchor back. I mean, it's pretty interesting. Seattle's got the better offense and gets Marshawn Lynch back. Carolina's got the better defense and gets Lucas Kuechly back. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I'm picking Seattle. All right, we're almost done with this here. We got the Chargers and the Packers at 4:25 in Green Bay. What did Taylor pick?
Packers.
All right, Zach.
I'm going with Green Bay. Their defense is just unbelievable. Third in the NFL in points, giving up 16.2 a game. And that offense is dangerous. Eddie Lacy, Randall Cobb, James Jones, Rodgers. I just think they just get it done against the Chargers at home.
All right. Sean.
I'm going with the Packers because they're almost impossible to beat in Green Bay.
Packers are almost unbeatable in Green Bay. All right, Zach.
You know, this is a Packers team that Aaron Rodgers finally broke that stinking interception, like the no interception streak.
Yeah.
That was great because I don't want to hear about that anymore. They needed 4 turnovers last week to get the win at home. That being said, San Diego's not coming into Lambeau and beating them. I think Green Bay handles their business at 4 o'clock and gets the W. Agree with me. Go ahead. Agree with me.
I want to find something.
Agree with me,
Give
man.
me a second.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego's offense has been very good this year, and I just don't see it continuing. Philip Rivers, has been extremely well. He's played extremely well. He's, second best passing offense in the league right now, but I just don't see them going into Lambeau and beating Green Bay. As Jushan says,
We agree.
Green Bay is unbeatable in Lambeau.
We agree.
All right, moving on.
Not when the Giants are playing them in the playoffs, by the way.
Moving on. Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. Taylor, who'd you pick?
Ravens.
He picked the Ravens. Zach?
I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think Colin Kaepernick is due for a big game. I think he comes today at home. Terrell Suggs going down early in the season, first game against the Broncos. I think that really hurt them. And I think they're going to have Steve Smith back, so that should help. But I like the 49ers in this game.
All right. Jushawn, what'd you say, buddy?
All right, I like the Ravens.
What do you say? Why?
Go on.
It's the 49ers. Come on now.
It's the 49ers. Come on now. What do you got?
Listen, the Niners had a respectable performance last week against the Giants.
Oh, sure.
So I don't know if Kaepernick's due. I think he's settling in. They're 1-4. They're not a great team. I mean, you just pull up the stats there and gave a grimace. So I mean, I don't think they're going to win today, and I'm going to have to give it to the Ravens based on the fact that their tight end went to high school with me, and that's a tiebreaker for a 1-4 matchup.
Yeah. Total yards per game.
Give me the Ravens.
Ravens have total yards per game by about 50 yards. Rushing by almost 80. Or passing by almost 80. But rushing yards, Carlos Hyde, I don't remember where he went to college.
He went to the Ohio State University.
But he's
the
got
Buckeyes.
He's got 3 touchdowns. Colin Kaepernick is trash. that system doesn't. Colin Kaepernick's trash.
Trash.
Colin Kaepernick's trash.
That's a statement, man.
Colin Kaepernick's trash.
Take him to a Super
He is
Bowl.
trash.
He's trash.
Take him to a Super Bowl.
Jushawn, what did you say?
He is trash.
Thank you, Jushawn. With that being said, Flacco has Steve Smith is out this week, correct?
Nah, they said they expect him back.
They expect him?
He practiced all week.
He practiced all week.
Yeah.
Agree with me.
You just called
In San
Kaepernick
Francisco-
trash. You have to go with the Ravens.
It's in San Francisco. I'm going with the 49ers
Oh, there it is.
here. All right.
That's the way I'm going to
After you called Kaepernick trash,
Yeah, after Kaepernick is still trash, Zach. Kaepernick is still trash, but I think Carlos Hyde is going to get the job done. I think San Francisco is going to pull off that win there. All right, and that might have been a little biased pick strictly because I didn't want to agree with someone. But second to last game here: New England Patriots, Indianapolis Colts. Who do you got, Taylor?
He picked the Pats.
He picked the Pats. He's picked. I'm pretty sure he's picked the higher seeded team in every single game.
Because Pats.
All right, Zach.
I'm going to go with the Patriots as well. I don't think the Colts can beat them. We've seen what the Patriots have done the past few years against them. I think Gronkowski has a big game. I don't think the running game is going to be too strong like it has the past few games. I think Tom Brady is going to just throw it all over the field on the Colts.
All right. Jushawn?
I'm also picking the Pats because the Colts don't look this good this year. And you know that everybody in the Patriots have this game circled on their calendars because of what happened last year.
Yeah, definitely. Zach?
Yeah. I think the Patriots win, and they win big tonight. I think that, just like he just said, they have this game circled on their calendar. They're really a little bit upset from last year, and they're going to go in there and stomp Indianapolis. Not only stomp on them, they're going to step on their throats when they're up by 50 and keep throwing the ball in the fourth quarter. It's going to be bad. Like, I don't think this game's going to be even a little bit close.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. I don't even think Belichick shakes his hand after the end of the game.
Really?
I don't think he does. Or he's going to give a classic Belichick dead fish handshake and then just walk off or do his little trot.
Andrew Luck's playing, though.
Congratulations. They're going to get killed. Take them, man. Take the Colts.
Patriots are going to win. I don't know if necessarily they're going to kill him, but Patriots are going to win. All right. New York Giants this time. And do they even have a cool chant like the Browns?
No, we're a respectable organization. We don't need the rah-rah. We just win.
You're a respectable organization. Yeah, probably. All right. Against the Philadelphia Eagles. Who did Taylor pick?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
He picked the Giants.
He picked the Giants. Don't know why. All right, Zach.
I think we talked about this on Wednesday, but I said Victor Cruz and Odell Beckham Jr. is playing. I like the Giants, so I'm going to go with the Giants Monday night.
Okay.
Cruz is playing?
Let's go, Jushawn.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Is there a reason to that madness?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
No, I heard you the first time. Is there a reason to that madness?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Okay. All right. I wonder who you're going to pick.
It might shock some, but I'm going to go with the Giants.
Oh, no way!
This is an interesting matchup for me. Just based on the fact that I'm sure you've seen it throughout the week. This is deja vu for last season. They started the season 0-2 last year. Won 3 straight. Went to Philadelphia and got housed. I mean, they took us behind the woodshed and just absolutely they killed us. 27-0. This season, we started 0-2. Win 3 straight. We go to Philadelphia Monday night. Same exact thing. However, this season's a little different. I'm going to Philadelphia. I'm feeling good about this team. I wasn't feeling great about that team. I feel good. Cruz playing again. Odell Beckham's going to play this week. Ruben Randall's going to play. Eli is back to being elite. I'll take the Giants Monday night. Take them.
Fly, Eagles, fly. As Sean was said, Sam Bradford is showing glimpses of why he was the number 1 pick in his respected draft class. 120 for 190 passing attempts, 1,261 yards, 8 touchdowns. All right.
How's DeMarco doing?
DeMarco only has...
I know, because I picked him 6 overall in my thinking fantasy draft, and the guy has killed me this year.
But he's only gotten 49 carries.
Because he stinks. They haven't done anything with him this year.
I think he's going to break out.
I hope he does, because he's sitting on my bench right now doing nothing.
I think he's going to break out, and I think he's going to have a great game, and the Eagles are going to win.
Eagles going to win, huh?
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Hey, let's go Giants.
Ain't that right, Jushawn?
Let's go Giants.
You can see him in my right here. That's Jushawn for everybody. Let's try to get it better. Yeah.
That's worse.
That's worse? All right, whatever. That's Jushawn for everybody there. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. All right. That is the NFL here. Let's finish up with some baseball.
Baseball.
We've had some a very good treated playoffs here. It's been a lot of fun. You got the Blue Jays and Royals now tied at 2-0 in the Royals' favor in the ALCS, and then you have the Cubs who just lost the first game of the NLCS to the Mets, and I hate the Mets.
Do you?
I hate the Mets.
Why?
They are not good. Their pitching is ridiculous. Their pitching is really good. But
And
Daniel Murphy, can he stop?
Dude, I hear you.
I
hear you.
I don't care if Cespedes goes off, because Cespedes can go off. Murphy is trash. Murphy is trash. He just hit another home run last night. I was like, oh, okay, now it's freaking Daniel Murphy. Boy, I mean, I get pissed off. I'm sorry.
I see that. I'm sorry.
The Mets, man. The Cubs, only got 5 hits there. But Zach, what do you think of? You got Cubs down 1-0. You got
the Royals up 2-0.
The Royals up 2-0. What's your take on the playoffs?
The Royals, they've been doing a good job so far. I actually didn't expect the Mets to be here. I thought the Dodgers would beat them in the ALDS, but that didn't happen. So, like you said, the Mets up 1-0 on the Cubs. But I like what the Cubs are doing. First time in the playoffs in a long time. And they're actually making a good run. I think they can get it done in this series.
I don't even think either one of Schwarber's home runs, last 2 runs, have landed yet.
Oh, no.
Or Jose Batista's bat.
Dude.
I wish we had something pulled up for Jose Batista's bat.
I wish we did too, because that was really cool.
That was pretty cool.
I just a quick side note, I don't buy the traditionalists. He's disrespecting the game.
Oh, no, that was awesome. That was purely
exciting.
playoff
That's
pump.
what we talked about 2 weeks ago. We talked about watch this because things are going to happen. It's going to be cool.
We did.
And that's what happened. The energy in Toronto, which is a hockey town, the Leafs are playing right now.
Hockey.
It's a hockey town, and the Leafs are playing. They're selling out Blue Jays games. The tickets for those games, you can't find them. You just can't. People aren't selling out for the Leafs right now.
What was your opinion on the bat here, Zach? Did you see Jose Batista's?
Yeah, I saw
flip?
the bat flip. I didn't think it was disrespectful. It got the crowd in it. They're the home team. I think when you're the home team, I think you can do things like that. But if it was on the road, I think it would be different.
Yeah, I agree 100% there. I mean, like you said, we talked about this 2 weeks ago that you guys, if you're not baseball fans, if you kind of want to watch a little baseball, watch the playoffs, man, because it is fun. It is energizing. You see players do things that they usually don't do. And you would never see Jose Batista do that in just a regular season game. That was awesome. That was so much fun to watch him get that excited because he knows that was a bomb.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bomb.
And it got out of there in a hurry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it moved.
That was
it's
awesome.
exciting.
Very exciting.
It's exciting.
And
But you just talked about people doing things they don't usually do. That's what we're talking about Murphy right now. It's the playoffs. Things happen like this. Why is Aaron Boone a famous name? Because he launched one into the upper decks in Yankee Stadium and beat the Red Sox in Game 7 off of Wakefield. That's why. Murphy's never going to be a perennial all-star and going to be one of those household names. But he's going to get paid this offseason because he's a free agent going up because he's having a big-time postseason.
Yeah.
And that's exciting to watch.
Another thing that's exciting to watch, and this happens in the regular season no matter what, but it's even cooler in the playoffs, Cespedes' arm in the outfield.
Why are you running on him? Why are you running on him?
Why does Castro even try to go home?
Why are you running? That's stupid.
And for people who did not see Castro, a little cubby there, he tried going from he was running third and decided that he wanted to go on Cespedes, and Cespedes was having none of that idea.
Yeah, the guy's been throwing a
Gunned
baseball.
him out at home by a step and a half. Just unreal. Didn't even bounce. It was a laser.
No.
It was a friggin', two G's, friggin' laser. It was unreal. I mean, all right. Now let's finish this up here. Let's do this. What is your prediction, Zach, for what's your prediction for the World Series? The two teams in the World Series. You don't got to say who's going to win, but what's your prediction for the two teams in the World Series?
I'm going to go with the Royals and the Cubs.
Okay.
I think the Royals get it done. I don't know how many games, but I think they get it done.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat. They're up 2-0.
I think you said they're up 2-0. This is a best-of-7 series now.
Yeah.
For people that aren't familiar with baseball, let's just run this back real quick. There's a one-game playoff for the wild cards, okay?
Stoop needs to be at least 3.
I agree with that. Well, we go in, you play one game, do or die. There's a 5-game ALDS or NLDS division series. That's a 5-game set, and you move on. Now we're in the championship series, the ALCS and the NLCS. This is a 7-game series as well. Will be the World Series 7-game series. So 2-0 isn't as formidable in a 7-game series as it was
as in
the 5, which, by the way, Toronto came back from this last series. So that being said, give me Toronto against Kansas City. I think this team is special. I think they can make it. They've sold out. They pushed all their chips in the middle of the table. They have to make a run. They got to do something.
The thing that scares me with the Blue Jays is their pitching, though.
I understand. I completely understand that.
When Price gives up 5 earned in 6.5, he did have 8 strikeouts.
I get that.
Have 8 strikeouts,
but then you look back and say, okay, if they can get a starting pitcher to go through 6, give me 6. There's no way you can go as a pitcher opposing them and get through the bulk of that lineup without giving a couple runs up.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't. Batista, Donaldson, and Encarnacion, they're just whacking the ball right now, absolutely raking.
I mean, you look at the offensive stats. Kansas City Royals 8 hits compared to Toronto's 10.
Sure.
I mean, Toronto struck out 11 times, and
but that's what their game plan is.
Yeah.
They'll take the strikeouts if they're going to hit the
they
long
just need
ball.
to hit homer, but they didn't. That's the problem there. But anywho, they left 9 on base compared to 4. Kansas City left only 4 on base,
They're
which
a
is
small ball kind of team. They've been that way for years now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I honestly think I don't think Kansas City's pitching is that good. I don't think Ventura is that good.
No.
No, I don't. Price had a bad game. He's not been very good in the playoffs. I mean, in general. I mean, Price owns a 5.04 ERA in the playoffs. 1.2 WHIP as compared to his regular season, his 3.09 career ERA coming off of a 2.3 ERA this year. But I think Price had a bad game, and I don't think Price is going to do that again if he gets the ball. I think game 5 or 6, whatever it may be, maybe 7. If
They'll
they
throw
push
him on
back.
short rest.
Yeah, I think 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think Blue Jays win this series. I do. I mean, they're down 2-0, but now they're going back to Toronto.
All right, yeah. So we both have Toronto in that series. I'm not picking a World Series winner yet, but I will say I like the Mets to be the National League representative. I think, as you talked about before, that pitching, man.
So good.
That pitching is when you have a guy like Matt Harvey last night, goes 7 2/3, a guy that's coming fresh off of Tommy John, should have been shut down a month and a half ago. and he's in here pitching. He's taking bats off of his forearm and waving off the medical staff and still pitching. That's playoff baseball, baby. That's exciting to watch. These players getting bruised their thumbs sliding in a base. He's taking bats off of his forearm, taking a risk with his elbow, his career.
Yeah.
And he's playing, man. I'm excited about that. I don't like the Mets. I don't want to like the Mets. I'm a Yankees fan through and through. But there's something to be said about the tenacity and just the fierceness of the competitiveness for that man and for the whole pitching staff, for that matter. When I saw them beat the Dodgers the other night, Terry Collins, their manager, looked like a kid winning the World Series, like in a Little League World Series. He was hugging random fans in the stands. He
got kissed by a fan.
He did get kissed by a fan. Yeah, he was so excited, and it was exciting to watch. This team has a bit of, dare I say, destiny around it right now.
Dare I say destiny? I completely gonna use that saying, and I agree with Zach here. Good Zach. I agree. Good Zach here.
Taking the Cubbies?
Have you ever seen the movie Back to the Future 2?
Where they take the Cubs and
Where they take the Cubs in
Yeah.
2015
Yeah.
to win the World Series?
Yeah.
To beat the Mets?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fate, man. Fate.
I mean, I hear you.
Cubs
That's a young
just
team.
had
That's a young
an
team,
NLC or NLDS record of 9 home runs in 2 straight games, 6 of those in 1 game.
That's a young team, man.
That is a young team, which is even cooler.
And it's really cool. I'm not taking away from it.
I think the Cubbies will win, and I think they'll win in 5 or 6. I think they'll win in 5 or 6. I think
you're
it's gonna be
completely buying into the Joe Madden effect.
100%. I think Joe Madden is a great coach, one of the best coaches of all time.
All time.
I'm saying
How
it right
about
now.
that?
When it's all said and done. When it's all said and done. Obviously, if you're tired now, no. But when it's all said and done, yes. I mean, to take a Rays team that isn't that good, you can see what he did with the Rays.
Sure.
And, I mean, it's pretty much the same Rays team
Yeah.
as this year.
around Longoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what he can do is incredible. I mean, you saw this Cubs team. It's pretty much the same Cubs team. Throwing a couple
Oh,
prospects.
this Cubs team is stacked.
Throwing the prospects and then throwing John Lester. I mean, they still have Arrieta last year. They still have Hendricks last year. They still had Montero. They still
Arrieta
they
wasn't
didn't
in
have
his
Montero.
Cy Young form this
They had
last year,
Riz.
though.
They had Riz. Arrieta was.
Last year he was not as good as he is this year.
Oh no, not nearly as good as this year. But I'm just saying, but there's a feeling in that Chicago Cubs clubhouse, and I think that's going to carry over. I think it's going to be Cubs, Blue Jays. It's going to be a great World Series.
I think regardless who comes out of the National League,
I think regardless, no matter who comes out of where.
I agree. But from the National League standpoint, these are 2 fan bases that are starved for something to cheer
all
about.
4 of them.
Oh, yes.
Last one to win a World Series in '93.
Yeah, the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
But it's just these 2 teams. These are 2 storied franchises, the Cubs and the Mets. They have some history behind them, and it's just cool to watch. It's cool to see them go head to head, and regardless of who comes out, I think the Mets coming out. You got the Cubs. That's fine. Either way, it's going to be fun to watch from a baseball fan standpoint.
Oh, 100%. And now, to wrap up the show, Zach, final thoughts on anything. Games you're looking forward to this week, matchups you're going to look forward to in college football, NFL, baseball, name them. Hockey, if you want to go to hockey, name them, tell us about them, and tell us why.
None of those really interest me. I'm not really interested in any of those, but I'm ready for basketball.
Boo.
2 or 3 more weeks, and the season will be here. It's going to be a good one.
All right. Zach, what do you think here? What are you looking for? Closing remarks here.
We're gonna talk a little hockey real quick if you don't mind.
I'm not going to talk it. You can talk it.
All right, we're gonna talk.
I know
hockey real quick.
nothing about hockey.
As you may or may not know, the NHL season kicked off about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. The best game on the planet is back. It's exciting to watch. If you have the opportunity to turn into NBC Sports, please take the opportunity. Just watch a period or 2. A name that you need to remember, I'm telling you right now, and you should know it already. His name is Connor McDavid.
I don't know the name. I know Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin.
Connor McDavid is going to be the next
Is he
Sidney
the
Crosby.
number 1 pick?
He was the number one pick for the
Okay, so you
Oilers
know.
this past spring. He came into camp, immediately earned a job, and last night had his first 2-goal game in his career. All right? Let me throw a little stat at you real quick. His first 2-goal game came in his 5th career NHL game. The kid is 18 years old. Crosby's first 2-goal game came in his 13th. Wayne Gretzky, the great Wayne Gretzky, came in his 10th. And Mario Lemieux, his 25th. It's impressive. It's impressive for this kid to do this. And he's going to be the face of this league for years to come. So hats off to McDavid, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season.
And I'll close it out here. with some college football and some NBA. I'm looking forward to see what Clemson can do. Hopefully they can keep their hot streak going. Another unranked team coming up these next couple of weeks. And they can really, really just – I don't even know why Clemsoning, like I said earlier in the show, is even a term. But Clemsoning is done, and Clemson has a chance to put that to bed, and Clemson has a chance to remain on the national spotlight for a while with Deshaun Watson. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward, like Zach said, to NBA, man. I love basketball, and I love college basketball. I love professional basketball, and I honestly think that this is going to be a great NBA season. Kevin Durant's going to be healthy finally. You know, all the stars are aligned for the NBA to be a lot of fun to watch. And then also I'm going to end it on, once again, MLB playoffs, man. If you have a chance to tune in. You got Arietta going game 2. All right, but that's about all time we have. Zach, it's always fun. Good, Zach. It's even more fun when you can join the show. So thanks for coming on tonight. Hopefully you can come on a lot more weeks to come. Jushawn, Taylor, thanks for everything you guys do. I mean, I know you guys work really hard. So we're going to look forward to these picks, these NFL picks. We'll be back at you here next Sunday at 10 o'clock. This is A to Z, Everything Sports in the Morning.